Welcome back, boys. Another day, and today we're going to be working on Beau's Evo. I figured since I have this thing in here and I don't really want to have this thing outside, which we'll have that problem resolved here soon where I have more space, but for now this thing is too pretty to put outside with the weather that we're currently having, so I've had it inside the shop. This car came back, if you didn't hear in the last video, because it was having a weird inconsistent spot, like under light load it was breaking up. Originally he thought it was lean. They had gone through everything, and I told him let's just bring it back, throw it back on a dyno, put an air fuel ratio gauge on it just to verify that everything is the same or if it's actually lean, and it actually was dog rich. It was like 9s buried right there. This car is on E85. It's been on E85 for multiple years now, I believe, if not at least a year. When I originally tuned this car before, it has a Precision 6466. It does have a built motor. I don't remember all the specs on it. I believe this is a 2.4 liter. I don't remember if it's still 2.4 or not. We tuned this thing on 42 pounds. I might insert a clip. The car made 707 on our Mustang dyno, and it still has a 6-speed transmission in it. So crazy enough, the trans is still alive. I don't know how that's even going. So he already knows and has the understanding that he would end up doing a 5-speed later on if it broke. But the turbo ended up failing, and he has obviously a filter set up on here. I don't know if this was on when it had the problem, but the turbo had eaten something and it destroyed it. So then he had put another 6466 on it. This has a 105 exhaust housing. The previous one had a 82. The car sat for several months, I think 6 or 7 months. E85 in it. He then got the turbo on, started up, everything seemed to be running good, but then had this issue. So obviously if ethanol sitting in the injectors definitely can cause a sticky injector issue. You know, obviously if your car is going to sit, I would recommend not letting it sit on ethanol for long periods of times. I've had pretty good results of it staying in a sealed system, meaning an injector in the car with fuel on it, but inevitably they're going to have an issue down the road if you leave it there and don't run the car. So then again, like I said, it came back, put it on the dyno, is at 9s, telling me that it seems like an injector is being sticky and sticking open. As soon as you tip into it, that all clears up. It does a full clean pull, which I'll put in here. The car made 767 or 769 on our dyno jet. On 36 pounds. When it did leave, I did turn it down. Those of you wondering, it made 675 on our Mustang dyno at 36 pounds. So right within our 13% we always gave. While doing so, I noticed that there was a pretty good oil leak coming out of the timing covers. So that's what we're going to be addressing today. There also is a pretty large oil leak on the oil return. I don't know when they put the turbo on if they missed the gasket on the oil return, but we'll probably be taking a look at that. But main priority today is definitely going to be figuring out this oil leak underneath the car and where it's coming from. So I'm going to start out today by getting the serpentine belt off, get that crank pulley off down there, which is a fluid dampener. Definitely might be a pain in the butt. And kind of get an idea where this is coming from. I really hope it's not going to be an oil pump issue. If you remember, my personal Evo way back had problems with the oil pump drive gear, and would destroy the seal on the pump, and that's where the oil would come from. I already let them know that that's a possibility. I really hope not, but we won't know until we get in there. So I'm gonna go ahead and get these covers off, and I'll show you guys what we're looking at. Got my main workee today. He came back. Some days you love me.
Some days.
Yeah, these things are quite the bitch to work on, huh?
Not bad.
This ain't no damn Evo shop.
I like Subarus more though.
You know, I do. The faint heart. I do want another Evo. Don't get me wrong. I never got to enjoy one, damn it. Every time I've had one, they blow up and I've had problems. So if you got a really clean Evo 9, let me know, because I've been on the look for like a year or two. Maybe one day I'll get one. Not with your guys' Evo prices though. God damn. You guys are out of your mind. It seems like 25 years old. Ancient. Meanwhile, as they see me buy a 25-year-old Honda for the same amount. So I mean, I guess there's that. You ready to see how much oil's in there? And I think it's kind of a bitch to get out of there.
Is it? One more.
Yeah, and then the motor mount too.
Damn. Fuck you, guys.
I thought you just said it wasn't bad. Damn, there's another bolt.
Yep.
Well, that looks like that needs a bolt. Holy dick, the other one's out too. Where's some titanium when we need some? I got some raw, but he has this really nice color and I ain't gonna go with that. It's better than nothing. Damn, salvage.
Cluster.
Is there a bunch of oil in there? Or is it not?
Nope, doesn't look like it.
Doesn't really look like it. I'm kind of concerned for where that is coming from then. So not a cam seal?
No.
Where's the light? No, I would definitely say it is not cam seal. There's quite a bit of oil in that back one, but it almost looks like it's throwing it up. Damn. Don't tell me it's an oil pump. I don't want to deal with an oil pump. I don't know. They look moist, but they don't look like they're the cause. So, all right, well, let's put this thing up and get that pulley off. So now we got the car in the air. You can see my towel I had here, and you can see it's all wet along here. Justin's got the light over there though. So originally I thought it was coming out of the timing cover, which is definitely coming out of the bottom there, but it looks like it's running down the front here. So we're gonna definitely have to get off our fluid dampener here, get the belt off, get this cover off, and then we should be able to see better. But the mystery is still going. Look at this oil return leak though. That thing has, it's coming through, there's quite a bit of oil there coming down, which it looks like that oil return, oh, you're almost there on the light. Yeah, you can kind of see all the bolts have oil on them, so it almost looks like there's no gasket there, but that thing looks like a bitch to put on. So that one's gonna be fun. All right, let's get that fluid dampener off and we'll get that cover off and see where this comes from. Those of you don't know, here's my new hiree for Evos.
Nope.
How do you feel?
Evos suck.
Why?
Oh.
I thought you had all the room in the world.
Definitely
I thought
not.
These things were easy.
No.
Nah, they're not.
Fuck Evos.
All right, so we got the main fluid dampener off there, as you can tell. Justin's just been working out for the last 3 hours getting his timing cover off.
Whatever. It's been like 10 minutes. Fuck you.
You can pull that shit off, huh?
Yep.
So once we get that off, then we can see in there, it does look like it's coming down. So that is a plus. It doesn't look like it's coming from the oil pump, which I hope it's not coming from that oil pump. We'll find out, I guess. Little update, got that apart. Couldn't fully tell where the leak was coming from. I'm assuming that this has been flinging around. Started it, of course, it didn't leak, as always. That's how that shit always goes. So we put it all back together because obviously when we had it apart, we had the serpentine belt off. That means that the water pump's not running. I didn't want to run it very long. So I went ahead, put everything back on minus the timing cover. I'm gonna go ahead and pull this thing out of the shop because it is winter time, so we have the door closed. So I'm gonna let it run outside until the point of this thing actually physically leaking oil again, then pull it back in, see where the oil leaks are coming from. So diagnosing definitely sucks, definitely takes quite a bit of time. Would have been a lot easier if we were going into there, fixing it, and then putting it back together, versus what we did right now is definitely not the most fun job, and putting it in back and forth, and now it has no timing cover, so it has to come back apart. So gonna go ahead and start the thing, pull it out, let it run, see where this leaks come from, and then I'll show you guys. All right, I got the thing idling out here. Just gonna keep an eye on it. Alright, a couple minutes of getting the oil warmer. Looks like there might be some residual coming down, just waiting to see. Gonna let it run a little bit more and get this oil temps warmer so the oil gets thinner, obviously. Trying to see if it's leaking, which you can see a little bit there, but I can't tell if it's remnants because it's hardly anything. Go ahead. Yeah, I think that's still just remnants. It looks like remnants still, so we'll go again. Like the plug right behind the now I don't have old loud thing in my ear. You can see here it's physically dripping off of there. It looks like what I didn't want it to be, and that looks like the oil pump gear there, or that seal that's up behind it for the balance shafts. There's a plug. Yeah, it's really dripping here right now. So we're gonna pull off the fluid dampener again, pull off the serpentine belt, try to get a better view in there, but it's definitely, yeah, it looks like it's the oil pump. That's what I didn't want. Why do Evos have such fucking shitty oil pumps? Why do you guys build these piles? Everybody's saying 4G's the best motor there ever was. I ain't seen no 4G make no fouls on stock motor. Alright guys, so I'm gonna end out this video here for the Evo side of things, but we're probably gonna continue into today, give you a little bit more insight on my daily, what I do, right? So coming in this morning, Evo's still on the lift. Obviously you guys saw it last night. We had the oil leak. It does look like it is gonna be an oil pump on the scene, so I went ahead and reached out to Beau, let him know. I gave him his estimate. I require customers to approve an estimate before moving forward with their cars. This car is going to have parts that are going to need to be ordered, aka OEM oil pump and a new OEM balance shaft delete kit, because this does have balance shaft delete. I let him know about that. In the meantime, if he does give us an approval, then we will be pulling the injectors out and sending this over to Mr. Injector to get those clean and flow tested, so that way we know we have a good base there. Then we can tackle that oil leak. I did tell him about the oil return leak, so we can get that solved, and then that should take care of that. Moving on into today, we'll see how much I get to record. I have several builds that are in the shop right now. We already have lots of heads ready to go. I have a RA short block that's going in a 05 STI. I have one of our stage 3 short blocks, and I have a couple of my stage 4s here that I need to get built. The RA short block obviously is already assembled from Subaru. It's going in a 05 STI for Tim. I did recommend to do one of our stage 3s or a built motor. He had already bought the RA block, so he already had money invested in it. He said, I'm just going to go this route with the understanding that he could possibly have to replace the engine at a later time. We're going to be doing some upgraded mods on there. I'm going to do everything in my ability to keep that thing as live as long as I can. But the same thing, guys, whenever I have someone come in for a motor job, I'm not telling them to put in another stock motor. I'm telling them I would recommend one of our stage 3s, which is going to be my most commonly sold motor. What that is going to be a brand new OEM Subaru case with pistons and rods, and then blueprinted and assembled in-house by me. An OEM short block, you put one in, yeah, you see me make power, you see me tune many of them. Those are motors that are already in cars. Customers have parts and they're like, you know what, I want to put my parts on and enjoy my car for a bit, and you set the expectations that they could have to do a motor if mistreated, right? So when we do lose a motor in one of those cars, I don't recommend to put another stock motor in the car, just because then it becomes a repeatable thing, right? So he chose this route. That's up to him. He already knows the risks by putting a stock motor in and then going for bigger power. You know, he knows if he mistreats it, it can still have a chance of breaking, just like any engine at this point. Doesn't matter if you mistreat it, it will break. So I'm gonna get one of those pulled out. I'm gonna get some engines off some engine stands in the corner here. This is my engine graveyard over here. I'm gonna get these pulled off. It looks like I have an open stand there, so I just need to get at least one more off, because I'd like to get the RA on a stand. I would like to pull out a brand new case there. I got to assemble one of my stage 3s. That is going to be going into a 17 STI that's here. That one has a Cobb 20G. We're just going to be doing simple stuff, stock heads, 1050X injectors, AEM 340 fuel pump, external wastegate, upgraded top mount, just the basic stuff, right, to give you a real reliable, good car drive. So we're going to be doing that. The 05 STI that's getting the RA block is going to have an FP black front mount, ETS header, fuel system, Killer Bee hard inlet, you name it. Like, the parts that are going to be really supportive. He has goals of making in the mid 4s for power, so definitely can do it. Like I said, I'm going to get that pulled out, get that on the engine stand. I'll probably start dressing up the RA block. I don't have his heads back yet. I should have them back. Let's see, today's Thursday. No, today's Friday. Wow, where did the week go? There's a chance I'll get a call today that they'll be done, but they might be next week. So that's why I said I want to get that one out, get that one dressed. That one's ready. Then we just have to put heads on it and complete the lawn block. And then I'll get that stage 3 over. I'll get that built, and we'll probably get that dressed. The for building a short block, I'm just waiting for it to heat up. I have the heater in the shop. I turn it down at night. So in the morning it's a bit colder in here. It's about 65 in here right now. I'm gonna let it warm up to about that 70 plus degree range, and then that's when I feel comfortable building motors. Just because if you're building a motor, guys, and you're checking your clearances, have a set temperature that you do it, because they do change. So I know where I need to be for temperature and where my clearances need to be, so that's why I'm talking about the warmth of the shop. So I'm gonna leave this here. No reason for me to pull this off today. I won't know what's gonna happen with this. You're probably gonna see this get moved over to the side, because I'm gonna have to wait on that oil pump no matter what. So it just gives you an insight of what I gotta do. I'm gonna go ahead and get that block on here. Probably won't be too much recorded today. But yeah, we'll see what happens. All right, guys, I decided I'm gonna wrap up here on this video for you guys, just to keep things separate. I think the next video is something you're really gonna wanna see. Like I said, to touch more base on what I do every day, and it kind of goes back to our older style of how we used to record on YouTube. So I'm gonna do that today, which you guys will see in the next video. For now, that's gonna wrap it up. I've yet to hear back on the EVO. Like I said, it's probably just gonna get pushed over to the side, so you'll see it over there for now. That'll be the nice thing. Once I get one of the other shops behind us, then I'll be able to have inside storage for customers that choose to do so. So that definitely will be nice for those of them that have really nice cars, such as this, that obviously they have a big hole in the hood and we don't want a bunch of rain and snow going on this. I mean, I definitely wouldn't. So that's gonna wrap it up, boys. Hopefully you enjoyed a little bit of a diagnosing video, and hopefully my Evo boys don't get too booty tickled at my comment. But still hasn't happened. I haven't seen a 1,000 wheel stock motor 4G. Yeah, I know there's other ones making good power. But that's it, guys. I'll see you in the next video.
About tomorrow, I'm just living in the moment, the moment. Full tank of gas and 200 on the dash, bitch, I'm zoning, fast lane. Living life up in the fast lane. Hey. Living life up in the fast lane. And I ain't slowing down, Living life up in the fast lane. Pedal to the ground, pedal to the ground, pedal to the ground. Living